Yeah, we got casualties by the jelly guy, so we're doing that. I looked what the shaman spells do, and honestly, I'm underwhelmed would be the main impression I got from them. They have, I suppose they're a mix of like cleric and mage spells, but uh, long sigh is basically the only reaction I have to them.
What is it this time?
Same with the high level abilities. I mean, they're not terrible, it's just everyone else gets better, so it's not exactly a huge comfort at that point.
Speak and be gone.
Also, some of them sort of seem like they're for a different type of a character. This seems like you never want to be in a position where enemies can basically just wail on you in melee, but some of the abilities seem to indicate that you're supposed to be able to pull your ass out of fire, but you basically fail with as a party if that ever happens in the first place. Also, the spirit summoning improvements doesn't mean that the lower level creatures stop being summoned. They'll just start to be mixed up with the better summons. So the shamanic dance can produce these piece of shit enemy summons that are worthless even now, even when you're at level 20. So that's another sort of a downgrade to that ability
Now.
from what I already thought was a terrible
Try to
ability.
keep up.
Right.
You rang?
Yes, I rang. I can't deal with the wizard. He did a huge amount of damage to me the first time.
Be direct.
Wait.
Speak and be gone. I will listen. For now.
I am prepared.
Go on then.
What is it this
I
time?
don't think I can harm them with the non-magical weapons. Master Jelly was immune to my damage, and you are... it's a piercing damage, I think. Yep. So piercing damage doesn't work.
I shall commit to the task. I will show you justice.
I was pretty sure I was trying to bless them, but apparently I wasn't.
You rang?
Please, aid me.
You rang. Be direct.
Please, aid me.
Go on then.
And you still died. Motherfucker. Critical hit, critical hit, critical hit, critical hit.
Try to keep up.
This group is in some ways so goddamn pathetic.
Speak
There's
and be
too
gone.
much wasted space here.
Your wish?
Spit it out. I will listen. For now. You rang. Be direct. It shall be even bloodier than you hoped. Speak and be gone. Try to keep up.
I look forward to your response.
I will listen. For now.
And we're poisoned.
Selune guides my hand. Please, aid me.
Go on then.
What is it this time?
Magic resistance.
Spit it out.
You rang?
You rang.
I am prepared. Selune guides my hand.
Please, aid me.
Uh-huh.
This is the classic problem with having a mixed party. If you have a single powerful guy, you're going to encounter less trouble than if you have a party that has weaklings in it. Because the enemies are gonna poke where you're the weakest.
Be direct.
It's natural, but the larger group is not always a
Try to
strength.
keep up.
What is it this time?
To be fair, there have been some benefits to that.
Speak and be gone.
Are you panicking? You're at full health. There's no enemy. The only good druid I see
I will try
is
to
not
keep
this
up.
type of a caster druid. It's the fighter druid multi-class version. It's just superior because a druid does not have the casting capacity compared to a wizard or a cleric, and it has straight up weaknesses compared to a cleric, equipment wise. So the only way for you to overcome that is to basically just make it a part fighter. So you can use the better equipment and you have better chance at hitting. So then it doesn't matter that your offense and casting is weaker and your buffing is weaker, because you can to some extent use your fighter levels to gain advantage. Also, I think it'll translate to more attacks in your shape-shifting forms. But the pure caster focused one, the shaman might still be a better caster than a druid or pure druid, but I'm not so sure about that. Not early on because of the slower rate that you gain spells. I would say shaman is probably more interesting because of all the special abilities and extra spells. That doesn't make him good. I suppose the biggest problem is the equipment situation. I can't even equip it to do
You
anything
rang?
useful. It just isn't possible to do that.
Be direct.
And it can't be
Try
multi-class
to
or
keep
dual
up.
class unlike a normal druid. So I get flexibility to throw mostly worthless spells. I think there are like a couple of ones at certain levels that are genuinely useful, like they're the best of the type you can have for any caster. They're the insect swarm type of spells that interrupt spell casting. They have like 100% interrupt rate if you're within this cloud. So that's something genuinely very useful at times. And I think they have elemental summoning spells that differ from the mages one. Mages have to fight for control with the elemental. The cleric or druid does not. So you can just throw summons out there and they can make a difference. Problem is,
Try to keep up.
we can't do that early on, so it's not doesn't really count at all. It just isn't a factor. Later on, elemental summons are pathetic compared to the abilities of the characters themselves. Their equipment set is amazingly good. Their stats are amazingly good. Elemental can't do anything against that. So there's gonna be some kind of a sweet spot where it's actually nice, but doesn't apply to early game, doesn't apply to late game. Either way. If we can get 2 arcane casters and a blackguard, we got the fighting covered, I think. The arcane casters are gonna carry out the entire party. Their killing power will be more than the rest of the party combined, by far. More or less we would be like just distractions, so they don't have to take that many self-protection spells.
Stand back and watch this.
I will listen for now.
Eat flaming, or possibly frosty, death.
Try to keep up.
What is it my turn to save the day?
Peter Speak and be gone. Get over here. It shall be even bloodier than you hoped. I will listen for now.
Monk is the big problematic thing at the moment. He just doesn't have the armor class or the hit points to do all that much. Also isn't that good at hitting things. And no matter what equipment I find, I can't change that. The only way to change that is just to level up.
Peter wrecked.
You ran. My turn to save the day.
Yeah, that's basically what you're gonna do throughout the entire game.
And be gone.
My
This
turn to
will
save
not
the
be
day.
a quick death. I will listen. This will not be a quick death. This will not be a quick death. It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
Is that it? Alright, we're heading to Nashkel to report our success. Get our little sweet reward. Sell the loot. Buy healing. Oh my god, do we need healing. And I definitely need a lot of poison antidotes. Should I buy the better healing potions? They're 3 times as expensive. They might be worth it.
Try to keep up.
Hello there.
Greenstone ring. Return to Joseph's wife. Chance to hit improved.
Peter wrecked. Speak and be gone.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get ambushed on our way back. I don't think they have much of a chance. There's any friendly patrols here, and we have a fairly good killing ability against single opponents, so I'm not worried.
Stand away, citizen.
You have returned. It would seem I was right to trust you. Town thanks you wholeheartedly and is pleased to give you the proper reward. Please take this 900 gold for your efforts. It is a small fortune by anyone's standards. Thank you again.
Reputation, experience, lost items, gained gold. 334, 556. Okay, casters are at the edge of getting some very important levels. She's gonna get more first and second level spells. I'm gonna get second level spells. Okay, I
I
think
am death come for thee.
nimble.
Surrender, and thy passage shall be quicker.
Yeah, I'm not surrendering to anything.
Struggle if you must, dead one. I do not mind working for my money. Why Nimble has been hired to deal with the likes of you, I'll never know.
Yep, that's certainly true. You're in the middle of an enemy
What
patrol
is it
though,
this time?
You
so
rang.
good luck with that.
You rang?
I look forward to your instruction.
I just need to
I
interrupt
will
him a little
listen.
bit.
For
The
now.
guards will probably kill him.
I
Eat
will show you
flaming!
justice.
Or, possibly frosty. Death!
Be direct.
I feel a panic spell or fear spell coming our way. Right.
Speak and be gone.
He's poisoned. He's more or less out of the fight now. What the fuck is he doing? He's hunting down my caster.
It
Yeah,
shall
he
be
isn't that
even
tough. The
bloodier
problem
than you
is I'm more or less incredibly vulnerable to his shitty abilities.
I am death come for thee. Surrender,
And
and
I
thy
don't have
passage shall
the
be.
instant
Be
interruptions
direct.
anymore.
Speak and be gone. Try to keep up.
And now we wait until he gets his shit together again. This could take a while. Identify things. Nope. I have enough funds that I can probably pay for the identification. I'll just sell some of the items we have to pay for the rest. There's certainly some benefit to just ending these disabling abilities when the fight is clearly over. Ah, there we go.
I will listen. For now.
The benefit of getting antidotes instead of elixirs of health, besides spending less money, is that we could just keep drinking the
It shall
antidotes
be
immediately
even
when we get the
bloodier than you
poison. With
hoped.
the elixirs, it sort of makes sense to just accept a little bit of taking damage, because
Business
otherwise
has
that
been poor
potion
over
is
the
sort of
iron
wasted.
shortage and all.
The problem, but I think we're going to be basically facing if we go to the forest that the main plotline wants us to go, it's going to be filled with creatures that almost everyone there is venomous. So even if we could technically tank the poison, we need a lot of disruption abilities to cut that effect down. There's at least ether caps, various types of spiders, wyverns, hobgoblin elites. That's a lot of everything can poison. The, the danger of the poisons might vary quite significantly, but I have no recollection of how dangerous each poison type is. So I can't exactly just wait there and see. +3 versus undead. Longsword. No one used the longsword. Infravision. Someone familiar or find familiar is only good for the protagonist, so might as well sell it away. Nimble. The money you have received from Transic should cover your usual fee. Your assignment is a difficult one, but I'm sure you are up to the task. There's a group of mercenaries who should be coming through Nashville in the next few days. They are led by a whelp named Melas the Vulture. You're to kill Melas and all that travel with him. I warn you, they might not look like much, but they are very dangerous. Good hunting. We have +5 armor class versus missile attacks. For the love of God, please take it. Electrical resistance, sure. Gonna drop the vial of mysterious liquid. Third level spells. Not sure what to do with these. The +2 sword is actually quite nice, but is anyone ever going to use this? Same with the shield. I think we can use something like a buckler at most. Okay, let's learn a few spells. That's it. I don't really care about the rest.
Try to
Business
keep
has
up.
been poor, what with the iron shortage and all.
9,500. Not bad.
It shall be even bloodier than you
Never
hoped.
had rats. No sorry.
Do you seek enlightenment?
I'd like to know more about your search for the missing Sun Soul monks.
After discovering our fellow Sun Soul monks had vanished from their monastery, we felt the truth must lie behind the name Alagoth. We spread out in pairs to investigate further. Gamaz and I, used to life on Kalamport streets, searched for rumors on the streets of Akatla. Much of our investigation took place at night, under the benign gaze of Selune. You see, although the sun shines more brightly, it is the moon that reveals the truths hidden in darkness. One night, we witnessed several shadowy figures assaulting a lone man on the street. We raced to his defense. The Moon Maiden blessed us, and we drove off his attackers. Despite our intervention, the man was gravely wounded. I remained with him, tending his wounds as best I could while calling for help. Gamaz, however, pursued the attackers. I shouted to him to come back, but he did not listen. Sometimes I wonder whether things would have been different if I had followed Gamaz instead of remaining with the wounded man.
I don't want to judge his decision. I think he should. It depends on the details of the decision. Would the guy basically have died if they would have abandoned him? Was help coming? Well, were other people there? I mean, was it crucial that you say and hold his hand there or not? If not, he should have definitely gone with his partner. So what happened next?
I suppose it might have been worse had I gone with him. Still, I wish that night I could have been two men. One to remain with the injured man, another to go with my brother. When help finally arrived, I ran after Gamaz. I found him only a few streets away. My brother had fought bravely, slaying 3 of his attackers before he was brought down. Once more, I cried out for help. Men came soon, but not to aid me. Instead, they arrested me for fighting in the streets, leaving Gamaz to die in a pool of his own blood. When the guards released me the following day, Gamaz had died. They said he had been slain by shadow thieves. The guards could not even give me his body, for they had burned it with those of the other dead men.
I wonder if Gamaz is gonna make a sudden return at some point. It's always suspicious when he didn't actually see him die, and the body is later on not available. We'll see. It's not exactly. It doesn't particularly matter. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Rasad.
Thank you for your kindness. Disheartened by the tragedy, my fellow monks returned to Kalamport. Gamaz and I had entered the monastery together, as brothers. I could not return without him. Neither could I remain in Athkatla, a city that forever holds evil memories for me. I traveled north. At first I thought I might visit the Monastery of the Sun in Waterdeep, which they called the City of Splendors. Yet I was in no hurry to arrive. Every day since entering the Order of the Sun Soul, I had striven to fill my heart with radiance that I may share it with others. After Gamaz's death, I felt only the shadows of grief and despair. But perhaps I have dwelt too long on such memories. I wish to share my inner light with you, not my inner darkness. What else can I tell you?
Tell me more about your training with the Sun Soul monks.
My training at the Sun Soul Monastery began the moment the kindly monk brought Gamaz and me inside its walls. As you might imagine, there was a great deal of physical training. At first we were assigned chores and exercises. We looked with envy upon the older initiates who practiced combat techniques while we swept the stones and prepared meals for our seniors. The monks taught us to read and write, and why it is important to do both with careful thought. We practiced debate, studied history, and answered endless quizzes about the 9,000 mysteries of Selûne. We learned to meditate upon the moon, the shards, and the stars. We also learned to meditate on the darkness between them, for it falls to us to battle the servants of Selûne's dark sister, Shara. At last we learned to combine our learning, devotion, and physical prowess to project our inner light outward. With it, we combat the darkness inside or surrounding others.
You must have been very good at it for the masters to send you on a mission to Arm.
We all strove hard, but Gamaz was the best among us. None of the other monks could defeat him in combat. Only I could come close, but each time victory was within my grasp, he swept it away with some spectacular strike. Even among the elder students, Gamaz stood as a pillar of tradition and excellence. His death is a great loss, not only to me as his brother, but also to the entire Order of the Sun Soul.
Seems you've learned a lot from your misfortunes.
I thought it best that you should know my past, since we traveled together. What else can I tell you?
I'm fine. Okay.
Never had rats. No sorry.
It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
Why is Taris a thing here? I can't talk with her, or rather get anywhere.
Try to keep
So it
up.
seems like someone needs to refer me to her,
The
but
business has been poor, what with the iron shortage and all.
there's the buts. $1,500. So, more than 10,000 gold. So I better go and actually buy some healing supplies. I think I'll go with the antidote standard healing potion combination for now. Diseases in general haven't been all that troublesome. I might buy a couple of elixirs of health, but
You
not
must
that
gather
many.
your party before venturing forth.
It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
Where to go from here, though?
Helm watch over thee upon thy quest.
Still a couple of extras for the backup crew too. Same with the antidotes. Just in case we basically are not able to share potions for whatever reason. Right. We're not exactly in an excellent position, but in a healthy position, I'd say. I'll buy a couple of potions of elixir of health. Right. So that's a couple of thousand down the drain, but I think that's
before venturing forth.
that's a lot of convenience I bought just there. What's our level up? 4433. Yeah, not good. We definitely want to do quests, any kind of little task really. I think I'll head south. We should be able to manage it. It has to be. No. I think I'm going to go and hunt down the garrison commander. It's a quest, so there's a reward attached to it. Also, I think it could have a decent amount of killing before we actually get to the guy. So we might get the levels up for the casters by the time we reach him. Carp.
What's your tale?
Anything going on? No. The Iron Crisis. No quests. No new information.
It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend
Try
yourself.
to keep up.
Waylaid by who? The ogre.
Uh-huh.
Peter, it shall be
What is it
even
my turn to
bloodier
save the
than you
day?
hoped. Speak and be gone.
You rang?
I will. It shall be even bloodier than you hoped. Peter wrecked. Try to keep up.
I don't think the guy we're looking for is on this section of the map. But I think we can get to that section from here. Okay, west of us there might be a road to the Knoll Fortress. North of us might be more or less where we want to be.
Uh-huh. Stand back and watch this.
Speak and be gone.
What is it this? Stand back and watch the ink
I
flaming!
lose
Or
for now.
possibly frosty. Death!
Try to keep up.
Don't want to mess with the bears. I think we want to be somewhere here.
Try to keep up.
Still, we might as well explore these areas while we move past them, at least for the most part. Yeah, that could be where we want to be. Or is it there? Why do I see this in the first place?
by enemies and must defend yourself.
Multiple ghouls.
You rang.
Your wish?
You rang?
Be direct. It shall be even bloodier than you hope. Speak and
I
be
am
gone.
prepared.
I will listen. For now, this will not be a quick death.
Go on then.
Be direct.
That's Fiend Gem. Yeah, I think that's a quest item.
It
Can't
shall
recall
be
where,
even bloodier than you hoped.
but I think it's a quest item. Second level spells. Weapon proficiency. Saving throw improves. Chance to hit improvements. Okay, short bow, spear. What exactly do we want besides that? I could take more of a short sword and shield approach, but there aren't good bucklers in the game. So it won't amount to much. I think I'm better off with a two-handed weapon. Two-handed weapon style improvement. We can put a single point here. +1 bonus to damage roll, -2 to speed factor, score critical hits on 19 and 20 instead of just 20. Single spell from second level. Bark skin, personal defense, not important. Charm person or mammal, not important. Mind traps, not important. Flame blade, not important. Good berry, oh my god. Jesus fuck, what a horrible spell. Casting a good berry spell creates 5 magical berries that the caster can carry with him. Each berry restores 1 hit point when eaten. Technically, this could be a good spell because it's a permanent. So you basically get items that allow you to heal 5 hit points. Problem is, eating those berries is incredibly tedious to actually do. So even if you had 1,000 berries, you wouldn't have the patience to heal any decent wounds with them. It just probably one of the worst spells in the entire game. No alignment might be worse. I mean, some of these, because there's really no use for this. At least good berry heals, so there's some positive to it. Slow poison. The problem here is I can't do anything offensively, really. The charm, I suppose, is something I could use, but it's very, very limited in usefulness. Affects any single person it is cast upon. The term person includes any bipedal human, demi-human, or humanoid of man size or smaller. Uh, blah blah blah. Okay, a 10th level fighter could be charmed, but an ogre could not. The person is allowed to saving throw where spell to negate it. It doesn't really say what the charm does, though, which is a big problem. Right, more description. Thank you. It's a saving throw where they get a +3 modifier, so they're easier to resist, I think. He regards the caster as a trusted friend and an ally to be heeded and protected. The caster may give him orders, and the charmed individual will carry them out as quickly as possible. If the caster harms or attempts to harm the charmed person by some overt action, or dispel magics, blah 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 blah, the charmed person spell is broken. If 2 or more charms simultaneously take effect, the most recent takes precedence. Note that the subject has full memory of the events that took place while he was charmed. Also note that you cannot have a charmed creature leave the area where he is charmed. How long does this last? One turn. That's a decent amount of time. It's 10 rounds. In a combat, usually one turn is enough to settle things. Casting time is 5. Again, the main problem is that most opponents that you really have to worry about aren't going to be affected by this anyway. And the saving throw isn't that tough to resist. But it would be something we could cast offensively. Alternatively, Barkskin to, well, fight minor armor. Also, I don't have to cast it on myself. Base armor class reduced to 6, plus 1 point for every 4 levels of the priest. In addition, saving throws versus all attack forms except magic gain a plus 1 bonus. The spell can be placed on the caster or any other creature he touches. Well, it's a single target buff. Resist fire and cold. I think it's a 50% reduction in damage. It's fine, but it's not exactly great. Can be used in combination with other resist to get full immunity though. It's not totally worthless. Slow potion might be the best one. Casting duration instant, casting time 1, so basically the lowest possible, and negates venoms and poisons. I think I'll take that. It's just something that we're going to basically have to deal with a lot. At the same time, do I want to do it? I'd rather use items to get around that. I'm gonna have a very limited amount of spells apparently, so something that has maybe a little bit of longevity as spells, so Barkskin. I'm not sure if it'll actually be of any benefit to anyone at the moment though. Maybe when we're very high class, but not now. I'll take the Charm Person or Mammal, simply because I can see that being useful for a long time, at least for something. I'd also like offensive capabilities rather than defensive, so there's also that.
So, after giving it some thought, I want to ask you a favor.
What do you need?
Even though I first ran away because I was scared, I've begun to think I should find a way to reduce the unfortunate side effects of my otherwise awesome spells.
Aren't the unfortunate side effects the main feature of wild magic?
It only seems that way because everyone forgets all the times my untamed magic made my spells more powerful. All anyone remembers is when I accidentally incinerated a classmate. Casting wild magic is like playing a flute by ear. I just kinda picked it up as I went along, doing what felt natural. In magical terms, I can play a pretty mean tune. But when I miss a note, the flute shoots fire at everyone. Also, the flute sometimes turns me into a hamster. Anyway, wild mages tend to keep to themselves for obvious reasons, but I've heard about one nearby. They say he's very old and wise.
You think he can help you?
Hey, you're smarter than you look. That's exactly right. Someone who's lived so long with wild magic must be able to teach me a thing or two.
Okay, who is this wild mage? Where can we find him?
His name is Adoy, and he was last spotted to the east of Firewine Bridge.
Okay, we'll look for him there at once.
Thanks. You're more than a convenient escape from vicious red wizards. You're a real pal.
Adoy's Enclave. This definitely wasn't part of the original game. I'm not gonna rush in there, but we'll keep those in mind.
Spit it out. Speak and be gone. Try to keep up.
Greetings, playthings.
Rage!
Thou hast found me
Perfect.
when I alone could not.
He's posing a riddle to us. I
I pray you left a trail of crumbs to lead us all back again. Others did not, so they have decided to stay. Shall we try to find the way home together? I pose to you a riddle, the answer to which I once knew, but now cannot perceive. Remind me, and we shall all return unto the day. Fail, and stay with me in the dark, forgetting whence we came. It has neither mouth nor teeth, yet it eats its food steadily. It has neither village nor home, neither hands nor feet, yet it wanders everywhere. It has neither country nor means, nor office nor pen, yet it is ready for fight always. By day and by night there is wailing about it. It has no breath, yet to all it appears. Well, death. The end is nigh, where the light shines unto mine eyes, and I can see clearly once again. What hath I wrought? This is horrible, horrible. I will welcome the block that must await me at Nashville. How could I live with what I've done? Please, thou must guide me to the town that I might pay for my crimes. I fear I can keep my senses for only so long, and I must not be allowed to do this again. Too many good people have lost their lives to me. Please.
Either the garrison or the temple. Oh, we'll see you back safe as we can, though I don't see how killing you will help those that have died. We shall take you to the Temple of Helm in hopes that you may be healed.
I fear I can do nothing for those I wronged, whether I live or die, and I still know not what led me to this. It's like a foul presence in my mind. I can only imagine that I have finally succumbed to battle fatigue. Take my weapon that I might not harm another. Use it if thou wish, though I'd rather it be destroyed. Innocent blood on everything. I'd only just acquired the sword. Such a waste this has been. Take me to Nashkelp. I can bear this no longer.
Greetings, playthings. Thou hast found me when I alone could not.
No, I cannot show my face here after what I've done. Just give me to the guard that I might take my punishments as I should. Not disgrace me further in front of Helm.
Calm yourself, Brage. Helm sees all that he wishes and knows much of what you do not. It was your hands indeed that did many a foul deed, but it was not your will alone. The intent is vital, and yours was influence without your knowledge. Justice will be done, but with atonement, not punishment.
But my crimes, my family, I don't want to go on.
If you are returned to the garrison, yours will be the only willful killing that has occurred about this matter. It would be a waste of your life, which, fractured though it is, can still contribute much. Helm will see you through. As for our intrepid friends here, I shall exceed the reward offered by Obelik. After all, it was the same task of bringing Brage to justice. The temple is in your debt for the return of its lost son. 1000 gold and reputation, 1000 experience, level up, gain some items. New two-handed sword. Curse, Berserking. Still, it's a +3 sword, so that's something. I'll probably just sell it away. Not exactly good for group activities, curse items that make you go berserk. One creature, casting time 1, chance to... I don't know, from spell. What the fuck, I accidentally removed blind spell, right. I don't like that mechanic. If you're, I suppose, everything is in the correct place, you can accidentally move your spells. It's because right-clicking on everything but the icon just selects the spell without putting it in here. If I left-click here, it basically it does this. If it's a different spell, it functions the same, but if it's the same, it sort of does this fucking thing. And it doesn't really go back and forth between the states of selected and unselected. It selects it, unselects it, and then it starts to... I don't know what the fuck it's doing at this point. If I press on the icon, it puts it automatically here. If I right click on this, it tries to remove it permanently from the spellbook, and then accidentally, apparently, I remove it from the spellbook, which means, yeah, we can go again. Shit.
It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
I mean, why the fuck would I want to move spell from a spellbook? Oh, Larissa.
Greetings, playthings. Thou hast found me when I alone could not. Greetings, playthings. Thou hast found me when I alone could not.
First level spell. -4 penalty to attack rolls in armor class.
It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
Right, not bad at all. Extra reputation is also welcome. I mean, our reputation is only 11.
It shall be even bloodier
The
than
neutral
you hoped.
reputation is fine with me. Where to next? Do we have outstanding quests? I think we have a bounty hunting quest on some kind of a cleric.
Business has been poor, what with the iron shortage and all.
Not sure if I should
It shall
really...
be even bloodier than you hoped.
head to try to get the bounty on the murderous cleric. Nira, important events. We get the previous chapters. Basilisk the murderer, rogue ogre. Interwolf Pels, Prism the sculptor. The chapter-specific quests and journals just doesn't make much sense to me. It just fractures the journal and quest log to such an extent that you're sort of unclear what exactly are you doing. I think our target would be here. I'm not 100% sure on that. This melee camp the chicken area too.
Be direct.
That would make 2 fairly easily achievable quests.
It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
Definitely melee camp the chicken. Right. So, what has caused your current accursed state? Use the polymorph spell on yourself. Okay, is there anyone that might be able to assist you? I fear I have little in the way of magical power myself. Right. Palantir. Let's go. Sure, I want to go there now. I suppose I should. One thing at a time. I need to rest anyway. So, the mage Palantir.
Try to keep up. We shall hold here. You look tired.
Yeah, we'll have to rest.
Casting spells isn't as easy as I make it look. I'm tired. What is it this time?
Spit it out.
My training going?
Speak and be gone.
Flaming! Or possibly frosty. Death!
This will not be a quick death.
If we're careful, we probably don't have to fight anyone else. The tired status is gonna give us some negatives, so I don't want to fight while we have it. Come on.
Why do I live in such a pissant town?
Right. Well, it's rather amusing actually. You see, I happened to rescue this talking chicken.
Chickens do not talk, so quite obviously it is a polymorph being of some sort. Spells such as that wear off in time or can be dispelled. It's a simple matter and one not worth the waste of my day. Keep moving.
Yeah, I'm quite aware of the mute status of chickens, thank you very much. Yes, this is a transformed man, but it is also a man who claims to be your apprentice. That is why I brought him here.
Apprentice? I have had no apprentice. I teach no one about what I... Wait. Melee Camp? Melee Camp, is that you?
Yes, Master Palantir, it is I.
I'm no master to you, and you are no apprentice. What goal you have to expect help from me?
He is not your student, but you do know of him, do you not?
A student wishes to learn, while this fool wishes only to have knowledge. I will tutor no one who does not understand the ramifications of what I have to teach. Not getting the quick gratification he wished, he instead chose to steal from me.
You speak of so much, but show so little. I only wish to learn a fraction of the power you possess.
It has taken me some 50-odd years of life to gain the power I wield, and the will not to use it. You are but a baby in comparison. Frankly, I'm surprised you changed into such an old chicken. How did you manage that, by the by? You were modeling the simplest cantrip when last I observed you.
I have progressed much since then, and I borrowed a few items to speed the process.
As I thought, well, it's obvious you can steal my tools, but not my understanding of them. Hold still while I dispel this foolish facade. Can very well get my property back while it's polymorphed into... Wait a moment. I did not possess any items that allow the casting of that enchantment. Wait. Oh dear. Millicamp, listen very carefully. What did you take?
Nothing too valuable, I swear. Just some components, a few scrolls, a beat up pair of bracers, a blank spellbook, some parchment.
A pair of... Oh no. You little fool! The bracers in my locked and trapped safe. I certainly hope you can develop a taste for chicken feed, because you are going to be stuck the way you are for a very long time. I know I stole from you, but you can't leave me like this. Please, Master Thalager, please. It's not a matter of whether I wish to help or not, simply that I do not have the power to undo what you have done.
What sort of an item could cause such a problem for even such a mage as yourself?
The magic that so many revere today was not always the same as it is now. Any adventurer worth his salt should know this, and know that not every bauble they wring from a dungeon will be helpful. The bracers in question were a vain little reminder of, well, doesn't really matter, does it? Suffice to say that I have no idea what their intended function was, and I was in no position to ask their former owner. Years have passed since my release, and the spoils of that netheril ruin remain as enigmatic as ever. They resist even the strongest divination, and attempts to dispel results only in explosive consequences. Something should just stay buried.
Is there anything that can be done?
If you are willing, then I will do what must be done. We will need a component that I do not have on hand, and it will be your job to get it. I will require the head of an undead creature, and a simple skeleton skull will do. Bring it back here and I will try to bend a few magical rules to reincarnate this foolish boy.
Reincarnate, but does that spell not require the recipient to be dead?
There must be a dead element, yes. That is what the skull is for. I cannot fully explain what I'm to try, but it's something of a reversal on their reincarnation scheme. The age of the enchantment that changed you may allow for a loophole in the laws of magic. Of course, it may just kill us both in the casting. Such is life. I hope you go to some dungeon or another. Return with the skull. Go.
I think it's basically a dice roll if this is gonna work or not. But it doesn't matter as long as we get it out of the way. Das Hunds.
I will listen. It shall be
You
even
rang?
bloodier than you hoped.
Out of the way.
Be direct. This will not be a quick death. Speak and be gone.
Eat flaming! Or possibly frosty. Death!
I am prepared. Selune guides my hand.
You rang.
I will listen for now. Try to keep up.
So Melicamp, are you feeling lucky or not?
Why do I live in such a pissant town?
I see you have the needed component. Well, shall we see if our young man regains his life, or if he'll eventually be someone's special dinner?
And he's dead. Anti-Chickinator and work.
Why do I live in
And that, as they say, is that. I fear our young friend did not survive the casting, and I feel a touch weary myself. Such are the ways of magic, unpredictable at the best of times. Do not feel responsible for his death. There was little more we could have done. His body simply couldn't withstand the change once again. A lesson, I suppose, for the rest of us. Take good care to treat found items with respect. If you will excuse me, I have some work to do. I imagine you a dungeon to storm somewhere. I wish you intelligence, because luck runs out.
Alright. Again, I feel this is sort of a... The end result doesn't bother me in this situation. It bothers me the fact that you need the successful dice roll to get any kind of reward or experience out of doing this quest. So you basically get a dice roll that you waste your time or not. And we
Try to
wasted our
keep up.
time. If you don't get a good dice roll, I think you might get a couple of thousand experience points around that. So it's a big difference.
This will
And
not be a
it's,
quick death.
I suppose fundamentally it bothers me because there's nothing you can do about it. It just, so random dice roll, are you gonna get anything from it or not? I'll need to buy some new arrows soon. It's a wolf, just fucking kill it.
What is it this time?
Go on then.
I look forward to your
Be
instructions.
direct. It shall be even bloodier than you hoped. Speak and try to keep up. Hold. I would speak with you.
What's it?
Regarding my mission, I have a lead on one of my former companions, the necromancer, Krill. She was seen east of the Nashkel mines, but I know nothing more specific. I found a woman who knew where I could find Krill, but she did not respond well to my interrogation.
Perhaps interrogation is the approach you should take when asking questions.
Perhaps I lacked finesse, but that is why I'm following you across this godforsaken coast. The woman with the information goes by the name of Taris. When last I saw her, she was in Nashkel, looking for her husband.
Well, that explains Taris. Okay, I'll keep her in mind. Actually, I think I'll leave things here. I'm not entirely incorrect. Our current target is somewhere in this general area, and it's a fight against undead, which we don't have a huge amount of tools to fight against. So it might be troublesome. I think I'll explore this area in general, try to complete the kill the cleric, bring him to justice, and then we can go after some of the companion quests maybe. Doesn't particularly matter as long as we have something that we actually go after instead of just randomly wandering and exploring the world map. That might come later on, but not now. Not every area is important in this game. Baldur's Gate 2 changes that, but yeah, in here we can easily not visit everything and still basically play everything relevant the game has to offer. I'm pretty sure every map offers like a single encounter at least that has some interest, but it could be something that's mildly interesting or just an enemy group, not even a decent magical item, just something of slight interest. And that's something we can easily skip.